Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of my interview with the lovely, the talented, the intelligent, and one of my favorite human beings, Miss Gigi Saul Guerrero.
Thank you.
I don't think it's just go show. He's like, you can do whatever you want, Gigi. Just give me attention. He's like every other man in LA. Y'all are thirsty for the record. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
For the record. Now, side note, did your sister's boyfriend at the time, I'm sure she's no longer dating him because that was a while ago.
No, she's not.
Did he ever go on to like finish film school or make a movie?
No.
I
have no idea where he is.
My suspicion is you've made a movie before he did.
Probably.
Which is
Sorry,
funny that
you also owe me my PlayStation back.
Oh, hell. Why don't you like sick the Mexican cartel on him?
I should.
I'm kidding. I'm being funny. People are gonna be like that, she doesn't understand.
Probably. Look at all those comments.
Cultural appropriation. All of that fun stuff. So you knew that you wanted to be a director when you were 16. Did you go to film school?
Yeah, I did. I went to Capilano University. So the campus there is called BOSA Center for Film and Animation in Vancouver, North Vancouver to be specific. Amazing school. I did 5 years there, got my degree. And I know film school is kind of like people will either say yes, do it, or nah, you don't need it. I'm on the team of yes, do it if you have the opportunity. It's, it helped me have a safe place to fail, really. Like, it's a safe place to practice your skills, find, social skills, because in film, as you know, it's all about working with people. It's not you by yourself. There's no such thing as one person did that movie. It's a lot of people that you gotta work with. So film school really actually gives you the advantage to learn with other students what it's like to work with other people and people that suck too. So in film school, there's nothing to lose, really. There's nothing to lose. If your short film turned out like shit because your crew member so-and-so was lazy and didn't do the job, it's okay because it's just for film school. So, I went in thinking I was going to make like comedies or movies like Children of Men. Like horror had yet entered my mind.
Oh, really?
I still, not at all. Like horror was just a fun side genre I always enjoyed growing up, but it wasn't because of film school, it was because of film school that I have the team that I have today. In film school is where I met my best friend and cinematographer, Luke Bramley. And Luke was like, okay, I gotta show you the dark side. So he introduced me to all these horror filmmakers I'd never seen before. My favorite one of them today is Rob Zombie. I had never even heard of him. And that's just one of the many he showed me. And I couldn't believe I didn't even know Robert Rodriguez. And that changed my life.
Yeah, I would think, given
that changed my life. Started reading Rebel Without a Crew, watched Mariachi, Desperado, blah, blah. And it just it started to impact me in my style and my personality and my, I really liked Robert Rodriguez because he was very Latino, but with like a Tex-Mex vibe. And I was like, I can really connect with that because I'm kind of half and half, living in Canada. I'm not fully Mexican, like you meet me and someone really from Mexico City, like you'll notice I have a little bit of the Spanglish going on here and there. My personality is a little different. So I really resonated with Robert Rodriguez. I was like, this guy's bringing like two worlds into one. I can do that. So yeah, if it wasn't for Luke, I wouldn't be what I'm doing today. I wouldn't have my team Luchagor Productions. Luke was the first team member I partnered with. And we were like, let's make horror movies for the rest of our lives. And we were the only students in class doing it. And from there, we met Rainer, blah, 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 who went to our rival film school, actually. We were the first official team where it was both schools that hate each other being a team. It's really crazy, that story, but true story. And yeah, so if you're thinking of going to film school, I say do it, but you don't need it.
Well, so my caveat, I'm always like, I think it depends on the person. Because I think if you're the person who's going to half-ass with school, I don't think you should go no matter what. No. And there just are so many people that half-ass their education. Like, if you're going to do it, commit and do it 100%. But also, like, if you know you and you're, like, not the person, even if you love it, to wake up at 10 a.m. to go to a class.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think the most important thing school gives you, no matter what you're studying, is discipline. Mm-hmm. It makes you disciplined. And if you want to be a filmmaker, hot damn, you gotta be disciplined. There is just no time to slack. No. And you know it.
Oh, completely. And also, I think the other benefit of school, like, that is so related to film, is you have to learn how to make it work. Like, inevitably, your schedule isn't great. You gotta make it work. Something goes wrong, you gotta make it work. And I feel like, as a filmmaker, that is such a helpful life skill. To learn. And I think schooling, I went to school for fashion design, but again, like, same sort of principle, you have to figure out how to make it work. Because even when you're on a set and everyone's getting paid and said they wanted to be there and sign contracts, shit is going to go wrong. Locations are going to fall through. The weather is going to change on a dime. Your location's going to get rained out. Something's going to catch on fire. Insurance is going to call you. PETA's going to show up. Like, there's going to be stuff.
PETA's
and you just have to, like, figure it out.
And no, it's true. It's all about... I think filmmaking is more the skill of figuring out solutions on the fly.
It's problem solving.
Problem solving. Like, it's crazy. And school really helped me, anyways, with that. And making just connections with other human beings. Because when you're under stress, baby, you become a monster sometimes. Like, or people just, stress can really get to people. So
when you need people to call, like, you need to be like, how to solve it. You can't always solve a problem without involving other people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to know who to call, what to do, places, people, connections. It's just so helpful.
Yeah.
So, what was the very first short you did? What was the first thing you ever made? Let's say that, because I don't know if it was a short. I was assuming it was.
Yeah, no. Wow, this takes me back to when I was like 16. Literally, my high school started doing for the first time an elective for film class, and it was really bad. We all had those mini DVs. Remember those mini DVs? And we would edit in like iMovie. Terrible. And we would just do fun little videos and stuff at school. And I made my first project, my first short film. And I basically made Kill Bill, Red Riding Hood, but Kill Bill. So I took all the score of Quentin Tarantino's film, Kill Bill. I took the entire soundtrack. And I basically made a Red Riding Hood movie starring me. Of Red Riding Hood training to kill the wolf. And we just shot in my house and like the forest, like not far from our school. And just basically did it all to the music of that movie. Like, that was the first thing I ever made. It's terribly great.
Where is it? Can we see it? Is it
I'm sure I have it in a hard drive somewhere. I should just post that one.
Comment down below
if you want to see that. It's ridiculous. But that was the first thing I ever did. I just picked up the camera and just said, I want to do this. Which, the beauty of today, you can literally do that. Pick up your phone and make something. Like, that's how easy it is. Like, even back then, like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that wasn't as accessible, wasn't as easy to put your work out there. So I'm just glad that, people can actually do that today and get their skill out there to the world and show their talent so much easier than when we were younger. So, yeah. I don't remember the name of the short, but we'll see. Then the next short I did that maybe a few of you have seen on YouTube. I was 19, and it's called Dead Crossing, and it's about Mexican immigrants crossing the border, but the U.S. border guards are zombies. So If you haven't seen Dead Crossing,
I feel like that
it's
might
very
be inspired from life.
Pretty much. Yeah, so that was my first horror short, everything. My entire family's in the movie. We had only 4 work lights. Was the first thing I ever made with Luke Bramley. This was before we met the rest of the Luchagor team, but we made that with like $150, maybe 200, like nothing. Free location, just my whole family's in it, friends, and it turned out pretty great thanks to that little short. Like little things happen. You meet new people, you do maybe 1 or 2 festivals, you meet people there, and you get some views on YouTube, some people talk about you, and that first short, for some reason, I don't know why, we don't know why, someone downloaded it and re-uploaded it, dubbed in Russian. It's the weirdest thing, and it's only one voice dubbing everybody's voice, this Russian man. And we all sound like fucking like Russian gangsters in the film. It's crazy. That's
hilarious.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad at that.
I was stoked. I was like, someone pirated our film. Yes. Like I was like,
side note, don't pirate.
No, don't do that. No.
That's not going to be her reaction.
Not anymore.
Her feature.
Oh no. Oh yeah, no.
Her first like, short
now
that she wasn't expecting to make money and didn't need to make money on. She's pro. Anything past like 2011, it's not that same reaction.
No. So I was celebrating back then, not anymore.
Sorry, way to bring the interview down, Justin. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so then you went on, you've made a bunch of shorts. Which are some of your favorite and why? And also, what is it about making shorts that you love?
Short films are just the best way to learn, and they're just such a challenge. Like they're actually really tough to make, because how do you tell a beginning, middle, and end, or like a full cohesive conclusion or full story in such a short amount of time? It's actually really tricky, but it's really helped me get, some of the skills that I wish it's really helped me get some of the skills that have helped me today. Like, especially as an indie filmmaker, I love shorts because you can go out there and make them. No problem. Like, you don't need that much budget. You don't need a lot of stuff. You really, really don't. If you're smart about it and you use the resources you have accessible, right around it and just keep making shorts, because you're gonna get so good at what you do.
I want to underline that really quickly. Keep making shorts. I've been hard on shorts in the past, and if you've seen me at any kind of panel or something, people are always like, I really want to make a short. I'm always like, make a feature if you can. I think there is a caveat. So the reason why I say make a feature is because then at least like you could say the ROI and like what you made, and it's not a financial loss. But also, in my experience, the vast majority of people want to make like one thing and then they expect the world to open up. And I feel like, first of all, there's no guarantee that's happening in the future either. For the record, like the chance of that happening, no matter what you make, is slim to none. But I feel like, especially like with shorts, and what I love about you and your career, and I've praised you this both to your face and also to everybody else, is like you just kept going. Like you didn't make one short and rest on the laurels. You know, when I first saw the one in 2014, it was doing all the festivals. You were winning tons of awards. You weren't like, okay, cool. Now you pay me all this money to do my job. You're like, no, I'm going off and making another one, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing that. And I think that that's so powerful.
Oh, thank you.
Really, really great.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I think within 3.5 years, I've directed maybe about 16 or 18 shorts. That's a lot. But again, what do I have accessible for me? What is ready to go? What is trending? Can I make a viral video about that with no money? Everything. If you look at Luchagor Productions' portfolio, a lot of those shorts are simple viral shorts. That's it. And very few that we've set the time and make them bigger, that are festival worthy. Like my most favorite is still El Gigante. That one really represents, I think, myself and the team. It's worth to add that time and learn from all the little ones that we did. And as you were saying, it's actually really hard. If you make a first feature, you don't have a guarantee to keep going from there. Like, you have to keep making a portfolio. So in my case, I decided to keep making a portfolio that is guaranteed at least to be seen. So in my case, YouTube, blah, 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 Vimeo, whatever, easy for people to see it. Festivals, for a short to get in that's actually short, easy to get in. Under 12 minutes, that is the beauty time. So 12 minutes and under is a great time for festivals to get you in. Because sometimes they lose shorts, or sometimes they just have like a little bit of a window left, and then they see a short that's shorter than that. They're like, oh, easy. Let's just play that one. Let's fill it in. And boom, you get people watching your short. With a feature, even if you post that online, chances of people sitting through the whole thing is tough. It's really tough. Chances of, no offense, your first feature with no money being fucking amazing, that's really tough. That's really tough, not maybe because it sucks or anything, but your competition against features with budget or people with more connections than you, that's already tough. Like, in my opinion, like you have to really play your cards right. So if it is a first feature, like you recommended, to just go ahead and do that, I personally would just make sure, okay, if that's what I'm gonna do, what feature can I do that is gonna get me there? With even like a short. Like, you just have to see what you have around you.
Oh, completely.
And just take advantage of it.
And understand like marketability and all of the across the board. Well, because the other thing that I've noticed too, and you don't do this, is so many people will like try to make a $25,000 short that they're shooting over 16 days. And I'm like, what, like, stop. Like, I think the way that you do it is much better. Because again, like, the more money, and when you throw in, like, again, like, if you're putting that much time and energy, make a feature, number one. Also, if you're getting somebody to give you $25,000, they probably don't realize that with a short, they're not getting that money back. Or it's highly unlikely. There's a few places you can sell a short, but it's highly unlikely for you to recoup a $25,000 investment. So now you get into like an investor with unrealistic expectations. And by the way, in my experience, managing an investor's expectations is like such a full-time job in and of itself. So again, why do that for a short? Like I love like what you do, which is like, again, like you pick a powerful, impactful short that relates to the time that you could do well for next to nothing with the team that you have, you know. But what, as far as shooting, like how do you figure out which is going to be the next project? Like what for you of all of those factors is the most prominent when you think about what you want to focus on?
I mean, honestly, like, it's just having passion. Something's gonna spark. Something's gonna inspire you, whether you see it on TV or you're walking down the street. Like, life experiences is, for me, the answer. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, something's gonna spark, and you just have to keep your mind creative and open. And, like, all the shorts that I love, like, to answer your question earlier, which ones are my favorite, you know, while Gigante is my favorite, I read that book, and I was like, oh, this book is amazing. You know, even moving on to other shorts, like M is for Matador. You know, what sparked that idea was I was just watching a YouTube video on bullfighting, and it really broke my heart, you know, for animal cruelty. And I was like, oh, let's make a horror short about that. And like, you know, I just love anything that is surrounding you at that moment in time. Oh, you know, one of my favorite viral shorts we've made is the black mask fail. If you haven't seen it, it's just, you put that black charcoal, and you've seen it on YouTube, how a lot of people pull it out and they scream, and it's funny. And I was just watching that, and I just heard my dad literally say out loud, can you imagine if their face actually peeled off? And my face was like, thank you, Dad. Boom, story right there. And just anything that just, you know, gets to you, make it. Just anything. And
I love that you hit the beginning, middle, and end. And the other thing that I don't think I hit home enough, which I probably should be more careful, I actually think it's a very specific set of almost like micro skills. Like, you have to be good at writing and good at storytelling, and then you have to be like even better at all these things to do what people can do in 90 minutes in 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12.
Yes.
In my opinion. Because again, it's hard. And almost always, like, when I read a short film, I can't tell you, I read more short scripts that are horrible than I read feature lengths. Because like usually with features, like you have more time to get to it. Even if it's not great, it still has some kind of merit or value. Mm-hmm. You know, and same with like, I see a lot of films, obviously independent films, shorts and features. And again, at least with like features, you can pick out, oh, well, like that character worked really well. Like there's elements you can pull out. If you're not great at doing everything, the shorter time is not going to be an asset. Almost almost always the case.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you have to be even better so that time is like really impactful. And I think that a lot of the time people don't think about that. And the amount of times too where I see like a moment and they try to say it's a short, I'm like, that's not a short though. Because again, like there's no beginning, middle, end. It's a moment, or it's like an element of a feature. Or like again, like when people say, well, I wanted to make a feature, but I didn't have the time, energy, or money. And it's like, okay, well, but your answer though was that you should have just made your feature rather than pulling like a scene that you were, like if you cared enough, you would find the time, you would find the money, you know what I mean? Like figure it out and do it the best that you can, whether it be a feature or a short. And I love that your shorts all have a beginning, middle, and end. And they all have characters that I find relatable, and you can get into like sort of knowing them or understanding them very, very quickly, which I think is again another skill set of doing a short film.
I mean, I think even with all the shorts I've done, they all follow, if you watch Lucha Gore shorts, we follow the same formula over and over. We just throw you in the situation, bam, right there. You are in it. You immediately, I mean, again, like you don't have much time in the short, so you gotta make people sympathize like that. Yeah, that the person you're getting to know them and blah blah blah. No, save that for the feature. For the short, you meet people like immediately, right? So we've just followed that formula, and it seemed to have worked with us. I've seen people not do that, and it works, but I think that's tricky. I think that's trickier, and you gotta be really smart on how you can pull that off, I think.
Thank you guys so very much for watching. That concludes which part? First part, because we did part 2 already. That's the first part, so stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, and also subscribe.
Don't forget for the next part.
Next part! And 10 billion bonus points if you join the Patreon. If you guys don't know, we have a Patreon which helps financially support the show, and I really appreciate it. And while you're in the habit of checking things out, I'm going to link everything to do with this little lady down below. But why don't you share with the audience where they can find you?
They can find me at... I keep trying to copy her. They can find me at Horror Guerrero on Twitter, Instagram, and again, I'm the only Gigi Saul Guerrero on Facebook. But guys, follow my team where you can see all my work, Lucha Gore Productions, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Bye.